let me take you on a very, very brief, like 20, 30,000 year history of human spirit. It's going to be very, very brief, okay? When we were hunter-gatherers, primarily our gods were the gods of the sky, because what was important at that point was geography, landscape, and so the way that we understood our connection with the deities was through those aspects of nature that helped in the hunt. And most of those deities were male deities. With some exception, the moon is often seen as a female deity. Not always, but it's often seen as a female deity. But the sun is most definitely a male deity. The sky is a male deity. Thunder, lightning, these are male deities. When we transitioned to agriculture, interestingly enough, our focus went from the sky to the earth. Now, the earth, as opposed to the sky, is associated with female deities. Obviously, right? It gives us life. You know, we plant seeds in it. It sprouts life. We live off of it. You know, the fertility of women became divinized in a way. But then something very interesting happened, which is that with agriculture came the rise of civilizations. And with civilization came the creation of organized religion, right? Religion, like was not stable. It was not static. It was in constant movement. But when we stopped moving and we settled down and we began to plant fields and build villages and cities, we also built temples, a place to house the gods. And here's the thing about temples, is that the second you build something like that, you need someone to administer it, right? You need someone who's in charge of that thing now. And that the idea of the intermediary between humanity and God almost always fell to men. There were exceptions, particularly in Mesopotamia, when you have like very, very powerful goddesses, like Inanna, or as we know her, Ishtar. Those kinds of goddesses who were extraordinarily powerful would have women in charge of them, but even that was a patriarchal thing, because the idea was that, well, the goddess is a woman, and so it requires women to take care of her, you know. But the other gods, those are all just male dominated. And so that is the process whereby what we start to see is the creation of organized religion almost immediately becomes a patriarchal thing. And that just extends for the next, 10, 12,000 years. It's sort of an unbroken chain that can really go back to the very first civilizations and the very first temples that